Hey now, Petey Grizz here. Today I am going to do something I don't normally do. I just got a rather large lot of knives, and I know there's some interesting stuff in here. I know there's also a lot of crap. So I figured what I'm going to do is make one long ass video out of it and open this giant box of knives I just got care of UPS. Yeah, so let's get into it. Hey there again. All right, this might just work out. Let me see how this goes. I'm not really set up well for doing something like this, but I'm going to give it a shot, see how it goes. And if it crashes and burns, you're never going to see it anyway. Or I'll probably just put it up anyway, as bad as it is, based on my other videos, right? So first up, we got the mystery package. And sorry, but yeah, like I said, I'm set up for like close-up shots of this stuff. I don't even have the means. So what is this? Well, stainless steel Japan, that's our first clue. This is probably one of the earliest types of multi-tools designs, where you would basically get a knife handle that had interchangeable tools. You can see there's a couple missing. A lot of them would come with like a hammer, a gimlet, which is a tool, basically a hand drill for starting screws and stuff. They were, originally a lot of these came from Germany, but I guess Japan later started copying them. I see them a lot from Germany. Usually the German ones have leather cases, where this is obviously a vinyl case. But it's actually, seems like a pretty solidly built knife. Bulky, at least. I mean, gosh, look at the size, and the snap's incredible. So I have no doubt that would work fine. I mean, but I'm not really interested in it, pardon me. Next up, we got the gas station classic right here. Let's see what this is. Oh, look at that action. So smooth and fluid. Yeah, Schrade Tough, which means Schrade China, which means whoever the company is that owns them. I used to know the name of it. I don't know what they're called now, but designed by Stuart A. Taylor. Taylor. Yeah, that explains everything. I'm sure they're a fine company. I enjoyed Schrade, and then Taylor pretty much destroyed Schrade. So yeah, I'm over Schrade. Here we've got a classic. I assume this is a colonial. Their take on the Swiss Army knife. I know guys get upset when I say clones. It's a freaking clone. This is a clear ripoff of a Swiss Army knife. If it's red and you put a white or silver shield on it, you're trying to look like a Swiss Army knife. Let's see if we can get the blade out on this thing. Yeah, colonial, just like I thought. Imperial made these too. They're probably the same company by then anyway. Camillus had their own take on it. Oh, we've got a real one next. I'm just grabbing stuff at random. So what we got here looks like late 70s, early 80s Traveler, Climber, whatever you want to call it. Little 3-layer jammer. Yeah, economy model. So economy Climber, super cool. Parts knife. Then we got its foreign cousin. That's the hump of death. When you hear me talk about some clones with the hump of death, look at those scissors. I mean, that's this stuff is pot metal. It's not even steel. This is not even steel. I've seen a video of a knife like this. I didn't believe it, but look. Fucking, try that with your Victorinox scissors. But yeah, what an absolute piece of crap. I mean, the blade is not even steel. Yeah, it's the friggin' cheapest tin sheet metal they could put an edge on. I mean, it's paper thin as it is, and it's not even steel. I mean, for God's sakes, China. I mean, Chinese knives today are great, but this is why China has a bad reputation. And there is a seller I see on eBay all the time, and they sell a Chinese copy of a Swiss Champ, and I know for a fact that that is made of this same kind of metal, and you can just snap the tools off in your hand. Next up, we got this big boy. This already looks like China to me. Mall Ninja stuff here. Oh yeah, the black blade, China, classic, no name Chinese knife. It's actually built fairly well. I mean, the handles, and I'm not crazy about having plastic tabs and plastic everything, because that just seems likely to break, and then your lock's going to be pretty tough to deal with. What the hell is this big? Oh my God, yeah. Big, I guess that's a rescue saw. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but Doesn't have a glass breaker on it like those usually do. Quickly going to run out of space to put these knives, and you're just going to hear me tossing them on the floor because that's how little respect I have for knives. I'm kidding. Yeah, Pakistan. Bam, Pakistan. I knew it. I knew it as soon as I saw that A. I saw the green crud coming around the corner. And that stuff, yeah, look at the sheath. That's just a classic thing with the Pakistan knives that come with leather sheaths. Whatever they treat the leather with corrodes metal horrifically. Especially if you've got brass touching it. The brass always turns into that green goo. I mean, pretty solid. I'm sure it's a junky piece of steel, but, you know, if you were out in the middle of nowhere and that was your only knife, you'd be happy to have it for sure. Let's get the other big boy out of the way. Got a little Bowie knife here. Let's see who this is. I have a suspicion. Alrighty. Oh, CVA, Italy. I think that means Central Valley Arms or something. I think that's a gun company. I'll have to look into that. This actually looks good at first, but then I already knew it. Yeah, these always do that. I hate that. They shake at the top. Like, it's just such a junk design. You know, some things are better left in the past. Got this big old pruning knife. This is a bolster on one side. It's not working now. Oh my God, the spring on that thing. And it's got what appears to be a dancing or kicking a horse or something, a horse bucking up on its back feet. It's like there's something behind it. That must just be the tail. Might be a lion, actually. The tail looks like a lion tail. I don't know. Who knows? It's going to go in a box and never be seen again. Yeah, here's a classic we've all seen. The wrench knife. And this isn't a good one. It says US on it. I'm suspicious of that. But, I mean, yeah, it would make a fine butter knife if you're like an auto mechanic and you got to have wrenches around you all the time. Here's something pretty neat. This was something that actually caught my eye when I first saw the lot. This is a true value multi-tool. This is a pretty old style of multi-tool. I mean, I've seen them before, but it's actually really well built. It's heavy duty as hell. It's got some rough edges on it. It's definitely all function, no form. All go, no show on this thing. But it's got a pretty decent blade. It's Taiwan made. Everything is, it's a little wobbly, but I mean, that could just be from use. It's obviously been used. Probably been used as a hammer more than once. But, because if you buy these kind of tools, you're definitely not taking care of them. That's an interesting blade. I guess that could be a can opener, combo bottle opener. The stripping notches are friggin' useless. I love that. You know, beauty. What we got here? Combination file and serrated blade. That's a bold choice right there, to put a file on a blade that you generally don't want to catch stuff. And, oh yeah, no more Pakistani goodness all around. I don't even need to talk about that. Oh, this thing already feels like a piece of crap. Yeah, I don't know what this is. This is another Mall Ninja special. Looks like it's ripped off frost cutlery. You'll often pick up a knife and be like, man, this feels like a piece of junk. And then you'll open it and it'll say frost cutlery somewhere. That's just how that be. Those are those TV guys, the knife show. I believe. I might be wrong. This feels kind of nice, actually. Let's see what this is. Little button lock flipper deal. Anodized aluminum handles, scales, or whatever. A little slow on the, oh, Maxim. Yeah, it's like an Amazon brand or something. Yeah, made in China. It feels like a well-made knife, though. Button lock, that's an interesting move. I mean, it's not going to drop shut. Definitely not going to drop shut. The spring tension is just too high. But, I mean, that's interesting. That's probably one of the earlier clones of a button lock. Pardon me. Next up, I already know. This is another one. Got the jigged stag bone or whatever, peach seed bone, whatever they call that. I don't know what the hell that shield is. She's got a bolt spring on her too. 440 stainless, handmade. Feels solidly put together. I mean, it's just a slip joint, not a lock back or anything. Next, what do we got here? Yeah, more of this crap. I'm not even going to talk about that. We're not doing that. Hold on, I'll move stuff around. I gotta make room. Here, a kind of a buck 110 with the tactical mod. I don't know. I've got a lot of brass. It's heavy. Stainless, China. You know, the usual. Classic. Oh yeah, that lock is fantastic. Yeah, it's just locked. That's just how that knife lives now. Yeah, that's that knife. Got a little Imperial like sheet metal. I really hate these sheet metal covers. I don't do that. I don't go for that, as Mr. Hall would say. Yeah. Looking pretty bleak, this package. Looking pretty bleak. What do we got? Meow. These are common. Richard Solingen made a knife like this, and then Japan copied the crap out of it. So the Solingen ones are decent. These are gonna be, I'm sure they'll function barely, but I wouldn't expect it to be a pleasurable knifing experience. We've got this little guy. Get the blade out. Yeah, I can't get the blade out. Blade is so sunk down in there, they like trimmed the kick off the tang too far. This is like, yes, this is a TV knife if I've ever seen one. Yeah, that's got Frost written all over it. The Knife Show, like 3 o'clock in the morning. The hell is up buying knives on TV? Who buys a knife at 3 o'clock in the morning, let alone a lot with a box full of junk knives? Exactly. What do we got here? Cutmaster, Utica, New York, USA. This one actually seems like it's in fairly workable. Yeah, this is in totally serviceable condition. Pen blade's a little worn down, but nothing wrong with that guy. And we've got a Wenger. Little Wenger Traveler. Got the small can opener, so right around 1976, I believe, 1973 to 1976, Wenger Traveler. This little guy, little Delrin fake stag bone looking thing. Colonial. Yeah, or junk. And we've got the Ideal Knife. I see these all the time. Yeah, the Ideal Knife. Not in my opinion. Not anybody else with a sound frame of mind. We've got a little, I think it's Winchester. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be Winchester. A little Chinese Winchester knife. We've got a little advertising knife. Stainless steel. I'm sure it was made in China. Who cares? Another one of these. Who cares? Another one of these. Who cares? Oh, we got here. We've got something in actual bone. So that's interesting. This is an old knife, I can already tell. It's missing the tab for the can opener, which means when I close it, it's never coming back. Interesting. Pretty sure this was a long screwdriver they turned into a can opener knife thing. Or it might have been an early combination tool. I don't know what the hell that is. And we've got the blade. Oh, Imperial. Yeah, this is an old Imperial. Yeah, it's carbon steel. Probably, looks like it's got carbon steel liners and stuff. Very likely that it's from right around World War II. Brass was in heavy demand for making munitions, so a lot of parts got made in other metals, such as steel instead of brass. Even though steel was needed too. I don't know what, oh, billfold, I guess, magnetic billfold. Yeah, this is clearly some old dude's junk drawer. Oh, look at this, little Executive. Definitely 70s Executive. Look at the patina on the nickel silver shield. We've got the aluminum tweezers, so certainly pre-78. In good shape too. No Victoria stamp, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Gotta take your wins when you can get them. Another one of these. Who cares? Winchester knife. Piece of junk. Winchester again. Get the hell out of here. Winchester. I love when they take famous American, nostalgic brands and just ruin the crap out of them. Got a little, I don't know, what this is. Little jackknife here. Ah, that's an Imperial. That's unusual. It actually feels like a pretty well-made knife. Usually when I get an Imperial, it's a piece of junk. And we've got this guy. This was the big problem with the early celluloid scales. They had the same problem with guitars. It's called off-gassing, and basically there's gases build up in the plastics, and they release and disintegrate the crap out of it and melt it. So if you ever found something that's old and plastic and just melted, I mean, it's either batteries leaked or the plastic did what's called off-gassing. I've seen guitar pick guards on vintage guitars that were just destroyed. They basically just crumble to pieces because of it. We're getting down to the home stretch, though. This misery's almost over. Looks like another Imperial. This is one of the plastic-handled electrician's knife. I'm sure it had some kind of car brand or auto parts store on there. Yeah, Imperial Ireland. Well, electrician's knife. I mean, that's useful, but I got enough of those. All right, we got an Rei Tourist. What's cool about this is, let me check. Yeah, okay, this is an earlier one. It's actually an inlay instead of painted on. The later ones are painted on. Nothing particularly special, but a nice little knife, nice little Tourist from the early 80s. And we're getting in the home stretch finally. Oh, look at this. She's got a bail. We've got a standard. Oh, a tinker even. That's great. This is going to be a great little parts knife. So we got the bail, 2 layers, 60s. Bam. Let's see what this guy looks like. I saw this in the picture, but oh, cool with the file. So that's great. That's going to be a great part for a projects I got coming up. We've got the Victoria Specialized Endless. I'll try Victoria Officier Swiss on a butter knife. So it's a shame about that main blade, because otherwise this would be a sweet knife. But it's cool because I need the scales, I need the bails, I need the clip blade, I need that. That's just a fantastic deal. I'm so happy to have those parts. And then we get down to the meat of the meal, and that is this. And it better be what I think it is, because it's the whole reason I bought this lot. I talked about this with some of you the last couple weeks. I hinted I was getting a pretty cool knife, and let's check it out. Uh-oh, she's stuck. Oh, baby. Look at that. That, my friends, is an 84 millimeter 205K BGL from about 1923. So what's interesting is it has 4 exposed rivets, which is on both sides. So I was worried that this was a chip that came out, and that's the only reason you saw the rivet, but it's on the other side. They stopped making them with 4 exposed. They had 4 exposed rivets up until 1909, and thereafter they went with 3 exposed rivets. But I know they had the 4 exposed rivets too, because Hobie on YouTube had early 20s stainless steel officer's knife with 4 exposed rivets. His was in a little better shape than this, although he had to do a lot of work to it, and I got to do a lot of work to this, but it's going to be well worth it. And it's cool because it's broken a little bit. I don't have to, it's not like I'm taking apart, you know, a mint rare example, you know, but this is still a cool knife, and we'll get into why. We've got no tension on this guy. This spring's missing back there. The cool part is that I will be able to make a modern 84 millimeter spring work in there. And since it's stainless steel, it'll be the same type of material at least. We got the 5-turn corkscrew with the fluting. Note the brass liners. Bam. She's a beaut, man. This brown fiber looks so cool. It looks like old worn leather. That's what it looks like. I'm on the fence about, since I'm going to have to break the whole knife down to do the spring, I didn't know about the spring thing, but the thing was I had a small picture of this and a narrow window of time to buy it before it potentially disappeared. So I bought it, and then I got some pictures from the seller that had the tools out and stuff, and I was just happy to see that. I didn't even ask to see the back, but I knew that was a possibility, and I'm not too upset. I'm a little upset about it, but not too. The scales are loose. That's actually a good thing, because I'm going to take them off and plane them down, and I might try to do something about this emblem here. Somebody's definitely sanded them, but with them taken off, I can sand the back and get it nice and flat, and I'll flatten out that scale because it's caved in from being carried, I guess, for years without, or being beat on for years without the spring in place. And somebody's jammed a bolt through there, I think. Yeah, there's no way. That's definitely a bolt head, and that's the end of it. They just pushed a bolt through there. So I assume I could just push it out from this side. Maybe they peened this end of it. It's a brass bolt, so they certainly could have. But the bail's in good shape. The liners, check it out. It's even got a brass spacer at the end. Usually these are nickel silver, and they might be aluminum later when they started the key rings. The key ring attached to this, and then later it attaches to the opening layer spring. So they may have went to aluminum with that because it doesn't bear any load. The problem, aluminum would be fine for it too. The aluminum is so soft that the key ring will just eat through it over time. So here's our main blade, Army Swiss. That's the original, their first tang stamp they started using on the first officers' knives in 1897. So that's cool to see. They used it up to about 1945. Then here's another cool one. This they used is Victoria in a banner with a Noxid underneath of it. Pardon me. They used this from 1923 to 1930, I read about, according to sources. So, blade's in decent shape. I mean, yeah, it's in rough shape now. What's sad about this is I already know there was some kind of, it's hard to see on camera. There's the very end of some kind of rather ornate, because there's like a little decorative piece to it. There's like a ribbon with wording or something. So there was some kind of beautiful edge on this knife that's long gone to the halls of history, but that's all right. We'll deal with that. I'm just happy it still exists and the blades aren't snapped off. Yeah, the blades and tools are the real important parts. Then you get to the liners and stuff. The springs, yeah, it's great to have them original, but if I have to replace it, I'll replace the spring. I ain't even going to cry about it. So there's our clip blade. Got the early sickle, Warner, whatever you want to call it, style can opener. And then check this out. Bam. Come on, screwdriver, come out of there. This is the cool thing about these knives. They had just invented the pop tops caps for soda beer bottles and stuff in like the teens, the 19 teens, whatever, around World War I. And Victorinox, according to their information, to their book, they adopted these and they adopted the cap lifter in 1942. But we all know that's bogus. Wenger adopted it as early as 1918. So I'm sure Victorinox picked it up by the early 20s. They may have had it as an option, but what I propose here is that this has the Victorinox stamp, 1923 and 1927. I believe this will put this, I think these ones with the 4 rivets, they might have considered that when they first made the switch to stainless steel, and then for whatever reason they switched back. I'm thinking that when having these 4 rivets with the stainless steel, it means it's probably one of the earlier stainless steel knives, probably one of the first, which it could possibly be one of the last to have the screwdriver. I don't know about that. I think the screwdriver probably held on for a little while, but yeah, it's totally possible this is one of the first to be in stainless steel, and you know, that's pretty cool. And that is why I bought this whole lot of garbage, which a lot of it is garbage. There's maybe 3 or 4 knives in here and maybe a couple parts knives that are interesting, but a lot of garbage. Sometimes you gotta dig through a lot of garbage to find the gold. And today I found the gold. Thanks for watching, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Peter Grizz out.